Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today's Friday, January 30th, 2026. College basketball, NBA, NHL, soccer, tennis, golf, Masked Singer on this day, news and notes, and best bet. We'll start with college basketball. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today. Furman over Samford, 78-73. New Hampshire over UMass Lowell, 66-61. Binghamton over Bryant, 63-60. Wofford over Chattanooga, 81-55. UNC Asheville for Gardner-Webb, 69-50. NJIT over Albany, 77-68. Number 8, Iowa State over Colorado, 97-67. Radford over Charleston Southern, 84-75. SC Upstate over Longwood, 65-60. Mercyhurst over New Haven, 70-51. LA over Lemoyne, 83-61. Stonehill over Fairleigh Dickinson, 58-57. Vermont over UMBC, 64-55. Stony Brook over Campbell, 81-69. Elon over William & Mary, 79-76. Drexen over Hampton, 58-51. Monmouth over NCAT, 83-81 in OT. Charleston over Hofstra, 66-64. Citadel over VMI, 80-56. Mercer over UNC Greensboro, 95-77. West Carolina over East Tennessee State, 90-88. JMU over Troy, 73-64. Stetson over North Florida, 84-77. Florida Gulf Coast over North Alabama, 72-64. Jacksonville over Lipscomb, 70-65. Liberty over Middle Tennessee, 81-65. Central Con over Wagner, 62-55. Morehead State over SAU Edwardsville, 67-65. Where all these games ending in 5. Georgia Southern, Neil Monroe got postponed to today. Memphis over FAU, 92-65. Northwestern over Penn State, 94-73. South Dakota over Oral Roberts, 77-69. North Dakota over St. Thomas, 81-80. Louisiana over Georgia State, 82-72. South Alabama over Coastal, 53-48. App State over Southern Miss, 70-63. Northern Arizona over Eastern Washington, 92-86. Texas Arlington over Southern Utah, 80-61. Utah Valley over Tarleton State, 83-55. Utah Tech over Abilene Christian, 76-70. Lindenwood over Southern Indiana, 73-60. Tennessee Martin over Eastern Illinois, 76-68. Southeast Missouri over Western Illinois, 78-74. Tennessee State over Little Rock, 70-63. Number 9, Illinois over Washington, 75-66. High Point over Presbyterian, 84-81. UNC Wilmington over Towson, 82-73. Northern Colorado over Idaho, 91-83. Cal Poly over Bakersfield, 104-79. UC Riverside over Long Beach State, 71-61. Cal State Northridge over UC Davis, 94-78. Santa Barbara over UC San Diego, 62-48. Sac State over Montana State, 83-80. Montana over Portland State, 64-60, and UC Irvine over Hawaii, 87-76 in OT. All right, today's games, we do not have a lot of games today. We had a lot last Friday because I think a lot of teams moved them games because of the snowstorm last week that was everywhere. 3 o'clock, Georgia Southern, Neil Monroe from Grambling. It's where Grambling plays. My line's Georgia Southern, 13.5. And it is 12.5, 159.5. I'll go over. Princeton Cornell. I have Cornell 5.2, and it is 5.5, 158.5. I'll go under because it's Ivy League. It's usually under. CBS Sports Network, Kent State Akron. Akron 6.3, 11.5, 166.5. I'll take Kent State getting the points. Next it is IO Indy and Youngstown State at 6:30. My line is, Youngstown by 15, and it is 10.5, 154.5 LA with Youngstown. Siena Niagara, my line is Siena 12.7, 9.5, 128.5 LA with Siena. A lot of laying the points. 7 o'clock, Rice Charlotte. Mine is Charlotte 6.3, and it is 5.5, 142.5. I'll go over. Fairfield, Iona. My line is Iona by 5, and it is 3.5, 146.5. I'll take the over. Fox Sports 1, Providence, Villanova. It's Villanova 8.3. And it's 9.5 and 156.5. I'll take the over. Sacred Heart, Quinnipiac. It's Quinnipiac 8.8, and it's 9.5, 156.5. I'll go under. Dartmouth, Yale. I have Yale 8.5. And it is 14.5 and 154.5. I'll take Dartmouth the cover. That's a big line. Um, Cleveland State, Green Bay. Mine's Green Bay 11.3. And it is 7.5 and 150.5 LA with Green Bay. Northern Kentucky, Detroit, Mercy. I have Northern Kentucky by 3. And it is 6.5 and 160.5. I'll take Detroit Mercy getting the points. Marist Canisius. I have Marist 8.3. And it's 10.5 and 120.5. I'll take Canisius getting the points. Rider Manhattan. I have Manhattan 9.6. It's 6.5, 146.5. LA with Manhattan. Harvard Brown. I have Harvard 4.2. And it's 1.5, 132.5. LA with Harvard. Penn Columbia. My line is Columbia 4.5. And it is 5.5 and 151.5. I'll take the under. 8 o'clock on Fox. Game of the night. Number 3, Michigan. Number 7, Michigan State. My line is a pick'em. And the line is Michigan 1.5 total 147.5. I'll take the over. I thought that Michigan State was gonna be a bigger I thought Michigan State was gonna be favored. I'm surprised they're not. CBS Sports Network Dayton, number 21, St. Louis. I have St. Louis 7.7. It's 9.5 and 152.5. I'll take the over. Wright State and Milwaukee. I have Milwaukee 4.7. It's Wright State 3.5 total 150.5. I'll take Milwaukee plus 3.5 and plus 146 to win the game straight up. Mount St. Mary, St. Peter's, ESPNU. I have St. Peter's 10.7. It's 6.5, 136.5. LA with St. Peter's. ESPN2, 9 o'clock. Loyola Chicago, VCU. At VCU 17.7. It's 18.5 and 151.5. I'll take the over. Fox Sports 1, Boise State, Grand Canyon. I have Grand Canyon 5.2. It's only 1.5 and 139.5. LA with Grand Canyon. And then 10 o'clock, CBS Sports Network, UNLV, Nevada. Mine's Nevada 6.2. And it's 8.5 and 148.5. I'll take UNLV getting the points. I think tomorrow is the Big 12 SEC Challenge. Oh, wait, they don't do that anymore, but it would always be the last Saturday of January every year. So let's touch on the weekend real quick. NC Central, South Carolina State postponed. 12 o'clock, ESPN, number 4, Duke, Virginia Tech. On Fox, Cincinnati, number 10, Houston. ESPN 2, number 11, Texas Tech, UCF. ACC Network, Pitt, number 22, Clemson. On Peacock, Marquette, Seton Hall. TNT, Georgetown, Butler. Ball State, Toledo. CBS Sports Network, Campbell, William & Mary. Stony Brook, Elon. UNC Greensboro, the Citadel. 1 o'clock, Valparaiso, Indiana State. Holy Cross Army. On CBS, San Diego State, Utah State. Fox Sports 1, DePaul, Xavier. Robert Morris, Purdue, Fort Wayne. Stonehill, Lemoyne. Fairleigh Dickinson, Wagner. Sanford, Western Carolina. LSU, South Carolina. SEC Network, Texas A&M, Georgia. 1:30 on the C-Dub, number 17, Virginia, BC. 2 o'clock, TNT, number 1, Arizona and Arizona State. ACC Network, number 16, North Carolina, Georgia Tech. ESPN SMU, number 20, Louisville. Colgate, Lehigh. Lafayette, American. Fordham, George Washington. On Fox, Ohio State, Wisconsin. Boston, Bucknell. UNC, Asheville, Winthrop. Bradford, Presbyterian. Gardner-Webb, Charleston Southern. Mercyhurst, Chicago State. Ohio, Buffalo. LIU, Central Con on ESPNU. Mainly Maslao, Charleston, Northeastern, NCAT Drexel, Hampton, Towson, Hofstra, Monmouth, VMI Mercer, Old Dominion, Texas State. On ESPN2, Texas, Oklahoma, Queens, Bellarmine, North Alabama, Stetson, Lipscomb, North Florida, St. Joe's, LaSalle, and USA 2:30. 3 o'clock, High Point, Longwood, Fresno Air Force, Oral Roberts, South Dakota State, Marshall, Arkansas State, JMU, Southern Miss, Coastal Yale, Monroe, Idaho State, Weber State, FGCU, Jacksonville, Cal Baptist, Texas, Arlington, Jack State, Missouri State, 3:30 Northern Illinois, number 24, Miami of Ohio, SEC Network, Mississippi State, Missouri, Lindenwood, Morehead State, 3:45 on the C-Dub, NC State, Wake, 4 o'clock, Evansville, Northern Iowa, ESPNU, Norfolk State, Howard, ESPN2, Baylor, West Virginia, Bethune, Alabama State, Grambling, Jackson State, Southern Alcorn State, ACC Network, Cal, Miami, Loyola, Maryland, Navy, Omaha, Denver, New Hampshire, Bryant, Hawaii, Long Beach State, Georgia, Southern Louisiana, Eastern Washington, Northern Colorado, Little Rock, Tennessee Tech, Southern Utah, Abilene Christian, CBS Sports Network, Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, 4:30 ESPN, number 13 BYU, number 14 Kansas, so that's Despineza and Peterson. I don't even know if Peterson's playing. USA, Davidson, Richmond, Maryland Eastern, Delaware State, Morgan State, Coppin State, Houston Christian, A&M, Corpus Christi, NJIT, Vermont, App State, Troy, Eastern Kentucky, Central Arkansas, Austin, West Georgia, Tennessee Martin, Western Illinois, Southeast Missouri State, Eastern Illinois, 5 o'clock, Florida, Alabama A&M, on Peacock, Indiana, UCLA, Texas, Rio Grande Incarnate Word, Montana State, Portland State, Utah Tech, Tarleton State, New Mexico State, Kennesaw State, Texas Southern Prairie View at 5:30, 6 o'clock, SEC Network, Ole Miss, number 18, Vandy, CBS Sports Network, Bradley Drake, Portland Wazoo, Oregon State, San Diego, Oklahoma State, Utah, and ESPN2, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, Miss Valley State, ACC Network, Stanford, Florida State, C-Dub, Notre Dame, Syracuse, Dartmouth, Brown, Princeton, Columbia, North Dakota State, South Dakota, Eastern Michigan, UMass, Penn, Cornell, Southeast Louisiana, Stephen F. Austin, Northwestern State, New Orleans, Nichols, East Texas A&M, 6:30 ESPN, Kentucky, number 15, Arkansas. So Cal against his old team. USA Network, George Mason, St. Bonaventure. 7 o'clock, UIC, Southern Illinois. On Peacock, Rutgers, USC. Point Green, Central Michigan. Harvard, Yale. New Haven, St. Francis. UMBC, Albany. McNeese, Lamar. 8 o'clock on Fox, number 2, UConn and Creighton. CBS Sports Network, Murray State, Belmont. ESPN2, South Florida, Temple. ESPNU, UAB, North Texas. Big Ten Network, Washington, Northwestern. Cal Poly, Riverside. UC San Diego, Cal State, Northridge. Georgia State, South Alabama. Idaho, Northern Arizona. 8:30 ESPN, Auburn, Tennessee. SAU, Edwardsville, Southern Indiana. 9 o'clock, Santa Clara, Loyola, Marymount. Fullerton, Santa Barbara. Delaware, UTEP. 9:30 Fox Sports 1, Colorado State, Wyoming. UC Davis, Bakersfield. CBS Sports Network at 10 o'clock, New Mexico, San Jose State. Pacific, San Francisco. Montana, Sacramento State. ESPN2, Louisiana, Texas, Houston. 10:30 ESPN, St. Mary's, number 6, Gonzaga. That's a great game. All right, and then Sunday. 12 o'clock on USA, Rhode Island, Duquesne. 1 o'clock, CBS, number 12, Purdue, Maryland. ABC, number 23, Alabama, number 19, Florida. Sacred Heart, Merrimack. Siena, Canisius. ESPN2, Chattanooga, Furman. 2 o'clock on Fox, number 8, Iowa State, Kansas State. CBS Sports Network, KC, St. Thomas. ESPNU, Wichita State, Tulsa. East Carolina, FAU. 2 o'clock, TMT, TCU, Colorado. On Peacock, Minnesota, Penn State. St. Peter's, Rider, Quinnipiac, Fairfield. Rice State, Green Bay. Marist, Niagara, Manhattan, St. Mary's. Or Mount St. Mary's, I should say. 3 o'clock, ESPN2, Tulane, Memphis. Cleveland, St. Milwaukee. Northern Kentucky, Oakland. 4 o'clock, Fox Sports 1. Number 9, Illinois. Number 5, Nebraska. That's a great game in the Big Ten. CBS Sports Network, 7 o'clock, East Tennessee State, Wofford. And 8 o'clock on Fox Sports 1, Iowa, Oregon. So there you have it for college basketball. Now we'll move on to the NBA. We'll go over the results from yesterday, and then we'll go ahead to tonight and the weekend. Sixers over the Kings, 113-111. Wiz over the Bucks, 109-99. That team's probably not going to win or come close until after Giannis is traded. That team's a mess. Rockets over the Hawks, 104-86. Heat over the Bulls, 116-113. Hornets over the Mavs, 123-121. Cooper Flag was outstanding, but they still lost. Nuggets over the Nets, 107-103. I thought Brooklyn would cover. They did. Suns over the Pistons, 114-96. Another resume win for the Phoenix Suns. And the T-Wolves over the Thunder, 123-111. Best bet cashes in, and the T-Wolves get a resume win. All right, tonight, 7 o'clock, Lakers-Wizards from D.C. My line is the Lakers, 13.75. Looks like Austin Reeves is coming back tonight. And it is 9.5 to 28.5. I think the line's reflecting. I'm going to lay the points with the Lakers. 7:30 on ESPN, Raptors Magic. My line is Toronto 1 3/8. And Orlando's a 2-point favorite, so it's 218.5. I'll take the Raptors +2, +110. No Franz Wagner spill. Kings Celtics. My line is Boston 16 and 7/8. I know, like, everybody's out in this game. Jaylen Brown, Domantas Sabonis, Russell Westbrook. It's 12.5 and 216.5. LA with Boston. I think Derek White leads the way here. Blazers Knicks. My line is the Knicks 10.25, and it is 7.5 and 224.5. I'm going to lay with the Knicks. Going for 5 in a row after a bad slump. I still think there's a lot of dysfunction with the Knicks right now, only because the media, I feel like, is pointing the finger at Towns and said you're getting dealt for Giannis kind of thing, and that's not fair to the Knicks. I'm I know people are going to say, well, you're making excuses for your favorite team. No, that shit happens. Like, the media does this crap and it distracts a team kind of thing. And then I think he'll blow over by the trade deadline, whether Giannis is a Knick or not, but which I doubt it. But I'm going to lay 7.5 with the Knicks. They'll win their fifth straight. And I think this game will play out like the Sacramento game did. Competitive, and then Portland hangs around, and then they blow out late. Grizzlies Pelicans. My line's New Orleans 5 5/8. It's 2.5, 2-3-1.5. LA with New Orleans. No John Morant or Zach Edey or Aldama. 9 o'clock. Cavs Suns. My line is the Suns 3 5/8. And it's Cleveland by 4. Total 219.5. So this is a no Devin Booker line. Darius Garland's out. Evan Mobley's out. And somebody else is out. Oh, Strus, who hasn't played all year. The disrespect for the Phoenix Suns, and it's a team that I felt was overrated most of the year, but this team's growing on me. They beat the Knicks twice. They beat the Pistons. They beat pretty much all the good teams in the West, including the Thunder, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm taking the Suns plus the 4 and plus 136 outright. Love the Suns tonight against Cleveland. So they'll get their second resume win in a row. Clippers Nuggets. I have Denver by only 3 3/4. I get it. Jokic is back, but the other guys are still out. And the Clippers are actually favored on the road in Denver, which is insane. This is Clippers favoritism for no freaking reason. The best player in the NBA is back. Denver deserves the minus by their name, and they're probably going to be favored by kickoff or tip-off. So I can't believe I'm getting Denver as a dog. Plus 1.5 and even money outright. I love a lot of these NBA lines today, and I do like some of the college lines as well. 9:30 Nets Jazz. My line is the Jazz 1.5. It's 3.5, 226.5. I'll take Brooklyn plus the points, but I wouldn't bet on it because I know Porter. And last one is 10 o'clock ESPN Pistons Warriors. A really good game. My line is Detroit 1 1/8. And Golden State's giving 2.5, so 224.5. That's typical favoritism towards the Warriors and Curry and etc. The Pistons have been better than the Warriors from start to finish this whole season. And the reason why this line is like that, 2 words, Stephen Curry. Then why isn't the fuck the Nuggets favored because of 2 words, Nikola Jokic? The favoritism in the media for Stephen Curry and the Clippers and whatever name brand team there is fucking ridiculous. The Pistons are still not getting the respect they've earned. Give me the Pistons getting 2 and a hook and plus 120 to win the game straight up. All right, on to the weekend. Saturday, 3 o'clock Prime Video, Spurs Hornets. Good game, by the way. 7 o'clock Hawks Pacers. 7:30 Pelicans Sixers. 8 o'clock Bulls Heat. T-Wolves Grizzlies. And then Saturday prime times Mavs Rockets. The Mavs get too much TV favoritism because of Cooper Flag, and they thought Anthony Davis was going to be healthy. Whatever. And then Sunday, 3:30 ESPN Bucks Celtics. That game shouldn't even be on TV. 4 o'clock Magic Spurs. 6 o'clock Nets Pistons. Bulls Heat. Jazz Raptors. Kings Wizards. 7 o'clock NBC. Lakers Knicks. If this was ABC, this is Mike Breen, but I think this is going to be Mike Tirico. But that is a great game. Lakers Knicks is a really good first Sunday night primetime NBC game with possibly the Knicks going for 6 straight wins. Lakers obviously on the Grammys trip, and the Grammys I think are on Sunday. We'll actually get into that in the show. 8 o'clock Clippers Suns, 9 o'clock Cavs Blazers, and 9:30 on NBC Thunder Nuggets. That's a really good game with Jokic back. So there you have it for the NBA. Now move on to hockey. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to tonight and the weekend. I don't think we have many hockey games tonight because we had a lot yesterday. We had like 10 of them yesterday. Islanders over the Rangers 2-1. Bruins over the Flyers 6-3. Sabres over the Kings 4-1. Habs over the Avs 7-3. Lightning over the Jets 4-1. Devils over the Preds 3-2 OT. Pens over the Blackhawks 6-2. Canes over the Mammoth 5-4. Caps over the Red Wings 4-3 shootout. Blues over the Panthers 5-4. Wild over the Flames 4-1. Oilers over the Sharks 4-3 OT. Canucks over the Ducks 2-0. Stars over the Golden Knights 5-4 in the shootout. Kraken over the Leafs 5-2. All right, one game tonight, 8:30 NHL Network. Blue Jackets at the Blackhawks. Neither of these teams are in contention. Columbus minus 152. Chicago plus 126. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 110. Unders minus 134. Columbus minus 1.5 plus 148. Blackhawks plus 1.5 is minus 184. I like the over at plus 110. Saturday, 12:30. Kings Flyers. 1 o'clock. ABC. Avs Red Wings. Great game. 3:30 ABC. Overrated teams. Rangers and Penguins. 4 o'clock. Jets Panthers. Sharks Flames. 5 o'clock. Canes Capitals. 7 o'clock. NHL Network. Habs Sabres. Devils Sens. Preds Islanders. Jackets Blues. Leafs Canucks. 9 o'clock Stars Mammoth. 10 o'clock Wild Oilers. And Kraken Golden Knights. So Saturday's busy. And then Sunday, 3 o'clock. Kings Hurricanes. 6:30 Stadium Series. Bruins Lightning from Raymond James, where the Bucks play. So that's a good game. Bruins Bolts. And then 9:30 on ESPN, Golden Knights Ducks, which is actually a decent game. All right, so there you have it for hockey. Now we'll move on to soccer. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to today. I think some of the games in soccer are underway. We'll pick the ones that that didn't start yet. All right, so yesterday, Europa League. Aston Villa over RB Salzburg 3-2. Celtic over FC Utrecht 4-2. Victoria Plzen over FC Basel 1-0. FC Midtjylland over Dynamo Zagreb 2-0. FC Porto over Rangers 3-1. FCSB Fenerbahce 1-1 draw. Goat Eagles Braga 0-0 draw. Lille over FC Freiburg 1-0. Ludogorets over Nice 1-0. Lyon over PAOK 4-2. Bologna over Maccabi 3-0. Nottingham over Ferencváros 4-0. Panathinaikos AS Roma 1-1 draw. Racing Genk over Malmo 2-1. Real Betis over Feyenoord 2-1. Red Star Celta Vigo 1-1 draw. SK Sturm Graz over SK Braun 1-0. And VfB Stuttgart over Young Boys 3-2. Pro League. Al Fateh Al Ittihad 2-2 draw. Al Shabab over Al Hazim 4-0. And Al Hilal and Al Qiddiash 2-2 draw. And then the Dutch Becker FC 20 over Excelsior 3-1. All right, going on now. Bundesliga, FC Cologne, VfL Wolfsburg, Serie A, Lazio Genoa, French League 1, Lens, Le Havre AC, and Dutch Eredivisie, NAC Breda, and FC 20. Coming up at 3 o'clock, La Liga, Espanyol, and Alaves. And do some picks real quick. Espanyol minus 105, Alaves plus 340, draw plus doing an Espanyol minus 105. Liga MX, 8 o'clock, Puebla, Toluca. Toluca minus 210, Puebla 5-1, the draws plus 320. For this one, we're gonna go under 2.5 goals, even money. 10 o'clock, Unam Santos. Unam minus 70, Santos plus 410, the draws plus 320. I'm going to go under 2.5 goals plus 136. And FC Juarez and Cruz Azul. Cruz Azul, even money. Juarez plus 270, draw plus 240. I'm going with Cruz Azul at even money. And ELC coming up at 3 o'clock. You have Bristol City, Derby County. Bristol City minus 110, Derby plus 280, draw plus 260. I'm going with Bristol City at minus 110. And we have finals from the Pro League earlier today. Al-Tun over Al-Akdod 1-0. Al-Nasser over Al-Khalod 3-0. And the MSC over Domik 3-0. All right, to the weekend. Saturday, EPL, 10 o'clock, NBCSN, Brighton and Hove, Everton. USA, Leeds, Arsenal. Peacock, Wolverhampton, AFC, Bournemouth. 12:30 USA, Chelsea, West Ham. And 3 o'clock on the big NBC, Liverpool, Newcastle. La Liga, 8 o'clock, Real Oviedo, Girona. 10:15 Osasuna, Villarreal. 12:30 Levante, Atletico. And 3 o'clock, LK, Barcelona. Bundesliga, 9:30, Frankfurt, Bayer Leverkusen. Augsburg, St. Pauli. RB Leipzig, Mainz. Hoffenheim, Union Berlin. Bremen and Magdeburg. And 12:30 Hamburg, SV, and Bayern. Liga MX, 5 o'clock, America and Necaxa. 6 o'clock, Atlas Mazatlan FC. Atletico del Sling and Guadalajara. 8 o'clock, Monterrey, Tijuana. And Leon Tigres. Serie A, 9 o'clock, Pisa, Sassuolo. 12 o'clock, Napoli, Fiorentina. 2:45 Cagliari and Verona. French League 1, 11 o'clock, Paris FC, Marseille. 1 o'clock, Lorient and Nantes. And 3 o'clock, AS Monaco and Stade Rennes. Women's Super League, Leicester City, Arsenal got postponed. ELC, 7:30, Leicester City, Charlton Athletic. Sheffield Wednesday, West Ham. Stoke City, Southampton. 10 o'clock, Blackburn, Hull City, Ipswich, Preston. Borough, Norwich City, Millwall, Sheffield United, Oxford United, Birmingham City, Portsmouth, West Brom. Queen's Park, Coventry City, Watford, Swansea City. Dutch Eredivisie, 10:30, AC Alkmaar and NEC. The Jamin, 12:45, PC Zwolle, Telstar. 3 o'clock, Sparta, FC Groningen. And in the Premiership, 10 o'clock, Kilmarnock, Aberdeen, Livingston, Motherwell, St. Mirren, Dundee, and 3 o'clock, Dundee Hearts. Or Dundee United Hearts. And then Sunday, EPL, 9 o'clock, USA, Aston Villa, Brentford, NBCSN, Man United, Fulham. On Peacock, Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace. 11:30 on NBCSN, Tottenham, Man City. La Liga, 8 o'clock, Real Madrid, Real Valenciano. 10:15, Real Betis, Valencia. 12:30, Getafe, Celta Vigo. 3 o'clock, Athletic Club and Real Sociedad. Bundesliga, 9:30, VfB Stuttgart, FC Freiburg. 11:30, Borussia Dortmund and FC Heidenheim. Women's Champions Cup, 9:45, AS FAR and Gotham. And 1 o'clock, Arsenal and Corinthians. Liga MX, 6 o'clock, Querétaro, Pachuca. Serie A, 6:30, Torino, Lecce. 9 o'clock, Como, Atalanta. Noon, Cremonese, Inter. And 2:45, Parma, Juventus. French League 1, 9 o'clock, Lyon, Lille. 11:15, Angers, Metz, Nice, Brest. Toulouse, Ajax there. And 2:45, Strasbourg and PSG. Women's Super League, 6:55, Brighton and Hove in London City. Everton, Aston Villa, Man United, Liverpool. West Ham, Tottenham. 9:30, Man City, Chelsea. Dutch Eredivisie, 6:15, Excelsior, Ajax. 8:30, Heracles, Fortuna. PSV, Eindhoven, and Feyenoord. 10:45, Heerenveen, FC Utrecht. And 2 o'clock, FC Volendam and the Go Ahead Eagles. The Pro League, 10:15, Al Shabab, Al Faya. 12:30, Al Fateh, Al Hazim. And 12:30, Al Idiad and Al Najma. Scottish Premiership, 9 o'clock, Hibernian Rangers. And 10 o'clock, Celtics, Falkirk. French Premier League, PSG and OL Lyonnais at 9 a.m. And I want to look at Monday real quick. We'll do the Pro League really quickly for Monday, because the other stuff I will probably be recording before these games start. So Pro League, Monday, 10:15, Al Raida and Al Nasser. 12:30, Al Hilal, Al Ali. And 12:30, Al Akdod and Niam SC. So there you have it for all the soccer. Now we'll move on to tennis. We'll go over the results from yesterday in the Australian Open, and we'll pick the championships. All right, so men's semifinals. 1 seed Carlos Alcaraz over 3 seed Alexander Zverev in 5 sets. And I should have fucking bet it, because I knew that number was crazy, and he won outright. 4 seed Novak Djokovic upsets 2 seed Jannik Sinner in 5 sets. And the women's games first, so we'll pick that. So that'll be tonight, overnight, 3:30 a.m. into tomorrow morning. 1 seed Arena Sabalenka and 5 seed Elena Rybakina. Should be a fantastic game fantastic match between these two. Sabalenka's been the best. Rybakina has been great too. Sabalenka's a -172 favorite. Rybakina's +142. I think this is a 3-set match. I'm going to say Arena Sabalenka 2-1 +280. And on the men's side, which will be Saturday night and the Sunday morning, 3:30 a.m., 1 seed Carlos Alcaraz and 4 seed Novak Djokovic. And Djokovic has just been really fun. I think he's motivated. I think he was very lucky that his opponent retired the other day. And I think that kind of gave him new life. Alcaraz is minus 230. Novak's plus 225. I think Novak's going to beat him. I'm going to pick Novak plus 255. And I think he's going to win it. I think it's going to be 5 sets plus 950. Novak Djokovic 3-2 at plus 950. I will give you guys out as well. All right, golf. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the tennis. All right, now we'll move on to golf. We'll look at the current leaderboard for the current tournament, which is the Farmers Insurance Open. Your leader right now with the score of 14 under is Justin Rose. Second with 11 under is Justin Lauer. Third, 10 under, Seamus Power. Fourth, 9 under, Chris Ventura. Tied for fifth, 8 under, Joel Dahman, Danny Walker, Hideki Matsuyama, Mav McNeely. Tied for 9, 7 under, Saibo Kim, Max McGreevy, Jake Knapp, Stefan Yeager. Tied for 13, 6 under, Sam Stevens, Keith Mitchell, Chris Goddard, John Parry, Chris Vertain, Michael Thunferson, Austin Eckert, Max Rieserman, Sahith Thiglia, Max McGreevy. Tied for 22nd, 5 under, Andrew Novak, Davis Thompson, Cam Young, Matt Pavon, Eric Cole, Marcelo Rozo, Dan Brown, Carl Viltz. 31st and 4 under, S.H. Kim, Christian Ziedenhout, Keegan Bradley, Adam Scott, Jason Day, Rio Hesatuno, Will Zalatoris, Mark Hubbard, Ricky Castillo. Tied for 44th with 3 under, Tony Finau, Patrick Cantley, David Lipsky, Jesper Svensson, Denny McCarthy, Tom Hogue, Doug Gim, Kensei Harada, Pearson Coody, Mac Miser, Rico Hoey, Taylor Moore, Kieta Nakajima, Adam Schenk, Johnny Kiefer, Jackson Suber, Hatsung Lee, Sam Ryder, Zach Pacho. Tied for 63rd, 2 under, Mackenzie Hughes, Tom Kim, Sammy Valimaki, Sacheng Duke, Gary Woodland, AJ Ewert, Wyndham Clark, Taylor Pendrick, Cam Davis, Garrett Higo, and Dylan Wu. All right, now the projected cut, 2 under. Tied for 74th, 1 under. Do notables now: Patrick Rogers, Matthias Schmid, Chad Ramey, Lee Hodges, Harry Inglis, Xander Schauffele, Matt Kuchars, Joe Highsmith. Tied for 89th at even: Alex Molly, Vincent Whaley, Jordan Ollison, Stephen Fisk, Gordon Sargent, Jordan Smith, Brooks Koepka, who was my pick. 99th went over Charlie Hoffman, Alex Randosh, Kate Bahita, Adrian DeMont Chazert, Rasmus Hojard, Henrik Norlander, Bayo Hostler. Tied for 1/10, 2 over, Kevin Ray, Takumi Kanaya, Lonzo Griffin, Luke List, Davis Riley, Aaron Weiss, JJ Spawn, William Mao, Andrew Putnam, Alejandro Tassi. Tied for 125th with 3 over, Peter Malnati, Adam Svensson, Luke Clanton, Austin Smotherman, Frankie Capon. Tied for 133rd with 4 over, Jonathan Vegas, Max Homa. Tied for 138th with 5 over, Kevin Stroman, Hank Labiota, Billy Horschel. 143rd with 6 over, Matt Wallace and Levi Geiberg. Michael Brennan was disqualified. All right, there you have it for your leaderboard for the Farmers Insurance Open. NASCAR is going to be starting soon. This weekend's not the pre-race. I think that's some point next week. Okay, now we'll move on to the Masked Singer. I caught up with that a little bit. I don't remember recapping the episode from Thursday. It looks like I did. Yeah, I did recap the one from last week. So we'll just do the one from the 28th. So it was Ninja Turtles night. The panel sang the theme, which was pretty cool, and it featured Ken. So Catwitch went first. There's Lightning Rod, Lollipop, an action figure, a megaphone saying victory, and then the moon. And she performed Teenage Dream by Katy Perry. The special clue was a clock that said 10:10. And she said she started and showed in movies and have possibly watched them. Okay, so we know who Catwitch is because they told us. It's Kylie Cantrell. But I'm pretending, or not pretending, but like, let's say let's pretend this isn't a thing scenario. But obviously the panel doesn't know who this is yet. Or they're not revealed yet. I would have said Tara Lynn Strong if we didn't know that. Jenny Victoria Justice, Robin Ashley Tisdale, and then Ken said Lisa from Blackpink. Stingray was next. There was a Fish Tank and Angel, assigned to Mother of Pearl. Big with Family, South and Southwest. There's directions to South and Southwest. The song was Mama Song by Benson Boone. The special clue was a pizza box that had sushi in it. Stingray talks about restaurants. I'm sticking with my guess from a couple weeks ago with Chris Brown. Jenny said Jaden Smith. Robin said Patrick Schwarzenegger, which would have been funny. Ken said Donald Glover. Galaxy Girl went next. There was a moon, New York Times, a dressing room, cowboy boots, a surfboard, oranges, and Galaxy Girl performed Just a Girl by No Doubt. And the special clue was Jingle Bells. Holidays are important in career. I'm sticking with my guess from a couple weeks ago of Danielle Panabaker, the actress. Rita said Dixie D'Amelio. Ken said Anne Hathaway, which was the worst guess of the episode. And Jenny said Hilary Duff, which was a Ken type of guess from her. Queen Corgi went next. There was New York. Talks about selling out Madison Square Garden. There's Lady Gaga was in the clue package. There was a podcast, New Mom, and then she performed Unstoppable by Sia. The special clue was avocado toast, morning toast. My guess, Rachel Platten, because I was getting the vibe of This Is My Fight song. Ken said Amy Schumer. Rita said Ali Wong, and Robin said Whitney Cummings. And the wild card was 14 Carat. There's another New York clue. Wild card out of system. Motown Landscaping talks about being at rock bottom, lost his mom, and performs Hold On, I'm Coming by Sam and Dave. The special clue was 24K and then the number 5. A few bad judgment calls in the past. I think this is an athlete, and everybody else is guessing old school people. Robin said Al Green and Otis Williams. Ken said Morgan Freeman. And Rita said Dean White. I went with Herschel Walker. There's a New York clue talking about wildcard being out of his system. Motown Philly. He was an Eagle. Obviously, he was a Cowboy. And the Giants and Cowboys are all in the same division. Maybe there were 5 picks in the Herschel Walker trade, maybe more. But maybe the number 5 has to do with that. Or maybe the trade and 5 Super Bowls for the Cowboys, who I think that could have something to do with that as well. But yeah, I'm getting Herschel Walker vibes, and I think that the panel's off. So they're about to announce who goes off. And Queen Corgi announces that she's withdrawing from the competition because she wants to give other people a chance. I personally think there's a shot she was going home anyway, because everybody was good in this episode. And she was probably the worst one. Either her or Carrot. But I do think Queen Corgi was probably going home anyway. They did not do the guesses, which was crazy. And it turns out to be Claudia Oshry. Which, that makes sense with all the podcast stuff. And, but yeah, they all thought she was a comedian. She just had a baby. And I guess she wanted to be with her baby, but I think she would have gotten sent home anyway. But yeah, I thought this was Rachel Platt and the girl that sings This Is My Fight song, but I was wrong. And the judges were way off as well. So, all right. So that was the Masked Singer. We'll do Idol a different day because we still have a lot to do. The Grammys are coming up this weekend. And I believe it's Sunday night. Yeah, it's on Sunday. There's 2 new categories, by the way. Best Traditional Country Album and Best Album Cover. And the Best Country Album has been renamed Best Contemporary Country Album. I think country's going to do really good in the Grammys this year. I really do. And I think country's done well in the past. Country has beat out rap and all that a lot over the past decades. So the nominees: Record of the Year, DMMF, Bad Bunny, Man-Child by Sabrina Carpenter, Anxiety by Doce, Wildflower by Billie Eilish, Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA, The Subway by Chappell Roan, and APT by Rose and Bruno Mars. I hate the song APT, for the record, so I hope that song doesn't win it. I think the best song by a mile of all of them is Abracadabra by Lady Gaga. So that would be like the pick from my heart, because I think that was a vintage Lady Gaga song. Her best song since Born This Way. I know some may say Shallow from A Star Is Born, but I think this was her best pop and not ballad, you know what I mean? Her best, like, upbeat song since Born This Way. And the dancing is very similar to Born This Way, and this song gives me Born This Way vibes. I think The Subway is a real shot. Luther's a good song. Wildflower can win. Man-Child can win. And of course, Opposite could win too. But yeah, I think it's wide open. But I think it's going to be Man-Child. Because Sabrina's just been red hot this year. Although, part of me does think Abracadabra has a real shot to win it. Because, like I said, that's her best song since Born This Way. So, I think it's going to be Man-Child, but I think it should... my heart says Abracadabra, but... I do think it has a real shot, but I'm going to say Man-Child to be safe. I think the risky pick would have been Abracadabra. Album of the Year. David Tayara, Mas Photos, Bad Bunny, Swag, Justin Bieber, Man's Best Friend, Sabrina Carpenter, Let God Sort 'Em Out, Clips, Mayhem, Lady Gaga, GNX, Kendrick Lamar, Mutt, Leon Thomas, and Chromacopia by Tyler, the Creator. I do think Mayhem has a shot, but I think Abracadabra has a better shot of the other stuff because of how big that song is. But I think it's going to be Man's Best Friend. Song of the Year: Abracadabra, Lady Gaga, Anxiety, Doce, Opposite, Rose and Bruno Mars, DMMF, Bad Bunny, Golden, EJ, Andre Nuna, and Rayami, Luther by Kendrick Lamar and SZA, Man-Child, Sabrina Carpenter, and Wildflower, Billie Eilish. I do think Song of the Year and Record of the Year could be two different things, and I actually do think Abracadabra is gonna win this one because Record of the Year, I think, has to combine the song and the music video as well. And so that's the argument for Abracadabra, but Abracadabra is such a good song. I'm going to say Abracadabra. Now, like I said, that'd be my personal pick too, but I don't think the same song's going to win both. I've seen it happen, but the last couple years I feel like they would give Taylor Swift Song of the Year and Record of the Year would go to Beyonce or whatever. Best New Artist: Olivia Dean, Castile, The Myers, Addison Rae, Somber, Leon Thomas, Alex Warren, Lil Young. It's going to be Addison Rae. Let's move on. Best Pop Solo Performance: Daisy's Justin Bieber, Man-Child, Sabrina Carpenter, Disease, Lady Gaga, The Subway, Chappell Roan, and Messy, Lil Young. I think it's going to be The Subway. Best Pop Duo Group Performance: Defying Gravity, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, Gabriella by Cat's Eye, APT, Rose and Bruno Mars. And 30 for 30 SZA, Kendrick Lamar. I think this is going to be defying gravity because of how big Wicked's become. Best pop vocal album, Swag, Justin Bieber, Man's Best Friend, Sabrina Carpenter, Something Beautiful, Miley Cyrus, Mayhem, Lady Gaga. I've Tried Everything But Therapy, Part 2, Teddy Swims. That's a loaded group. Any of those 5 can win. Could be Justin, could be Miley, could be Sabrina, could be Gaga, could be Teddy Swims. But I think it's going to be Sabrina. I'm trying to find some other big ones. Best country solo performance, Nose on the Grindstone by Tyler Childers, Good News by Shabuzi, Bad As I Used to Be, Chris Stapleton, I Never Lie, Zach Pop, Somewhere Over the Radio, Lainey Wilson. Those are all really good. I think it's going to be Good News by Shabuzi, because Shabuzi's very big. Country duo group performance, a song to sing, Miranda Lambert and Chris Stapleton. Trailblazer by Reba McEntire, Miranda Lambert and Lainey Wilson. Love Me Like You Used to, Margot Price and Tyler Childers. Amen by Shabuzi and Jello Roll. And Honky Tonk Hall of Fame, George Strait and Chris Stapleton. Whoa, that's a loaded group as well. I think it's going to be Amen, because again, who's big right now? Shabuzi and Jelly Roll. And then Best Contemporary Country Album, Patterns by Kelsey Ballerini, Snipe Hunter, Tyler Childers. Evangeline versus the Machine, Eric Church. Beautifully Broken, Jelly Roll. And Postcards from Texas, Miranda Lambert. I think it's going to be Jelly Roll. Best Traditional Country Album, Dollar a Day, Charlie Crockett. American Romance, Lucas Nelson. Oh, What a Beautiful World, Willie Nelson. Hard-Hatted Woman, Margot Price. And Ain't in It for My Help, Zach Pop. I think it's going to be Ain't in It for My Help by Zach Pop. I'm trying to think of and then R&B, I think R&B performance, I'm gonna say Yukon Justin Bieber. An R&B album, that's a hard one. I'm not gonna pick that one. Best rap song, I'm gonna say best rap song is gonna be TV Off by Kendrick Lamar featuring Lefty Gunplay. I swear, if Bad Bunny wins all this freaking crap, no thank you. He should not be the Super Bowl halftime performer. It should be Lady Gaga or somebody else. Justin Bieber, Miley Cyrus, any of those people. I mean, even Taylor Swift probably deserved it over Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar last year, now Bad Bunny this year. I mean, come on. Like, he better have surprise guests in the halftime show that could just make it really good. And the funny thing is that Taylor Swift is not in this year. And then performers. So we have Israel Houghton in the premiere ceremony. Lily Ike, Grace Potter, Maggie Rose, Tyrone Shorty, Darren Criss, Helen Shen, Spirit Box, Tasha Cobbs, Leonard, and Zara Larson. And then the main ceremony. So Sabrina Carpenter was announced as the first performer on January 20th. So she's probably opening it. So the best new artist melody. Addison Rae, Alex Warren, Cat's Eye, Leon Thomas, Lil Young, Olivia Dean, Somber, and the Marias. Addison Rae's best new artist. Sabrina Carpenter's going to perform. Pharrell Williams and Clisp. Justin Bieber. Reba McEntire, Brandy Clark, and Lucas Nelson will do In Memoriam. A tribute to Ozzy Osbourne, Post Malone, Duff McKagan, Slash. Wow. Andrew Watt and Chad Smith. Lauryn Hill's going to do a tribute to D'Angelo and Roberto Flack. Lady Gaga's performing. Rose, Tyler the Creator, Bruno Mars. And then the presenters in the main ceremony. Doce, Harry Styles, Jeff Goldblum, Chapel Rome, Lainey Wilson, Marcelo Hernandez, Nikki Glazer, Carol G, Q-Tip, Tiana Taylor, Charlie XCS, Carol King, and Queen Latifah. Where the hell is Taylor Swift? That's what I want to know. The Super Bowl halftime performers all over those freaking Grammys and not her. But yeah, Lady Gaga's gonna perform Abracadabra because last year she performed California Dreamin' with Bruno Mars. Oh, but the music video for Abracadabra premiered during a commercial break in the broadcast. Yeah, she's singing Abracadabra on Sunday night for sure. All right, so it's gonna be a fun Grammys. I had to do a little Bad Bunny rant. Where the hell is Taylor Swift? All right, on this day, I wonder if like halftime show announcements will be a part of this come like the fall, because I never looked at that. All right, so on this day, January 30th, 2021, Rams acquire Matt Stafford. So the Stafford trade happened 5 years ago today. That's crazy. Didn't realize it happened before the Super Bowl. 2022, Bengals advance to Super Bowl 46. 2018, Redskins acquire Alex Smith. 2022, Rams advance to Super Bowl 46. 2018, James Harden posts first ever 60-point triple-double. I remember that. 2022, the Raiders hire Josh McDaniels. 2015, Hawks extended winning streak to 18. I remember that Hawks team was good. There's always a long winning streak in the NBA every year. I mean, this year was the Thunder, obviously. And then the Pistons started really good. I don't remember if they had a long one, an extended long one, like double-digit long one. 2023, Islanders acquire Bo Horvat. 2013, Raptors acquire Rudy Gay from the Grizzlies. 2024, John Angelos sells Orioles to David Rubenstein. Last year, Justin Tucker accused of inappropriate sexual behavior. Can't believe that was a year ago. In 2020, the Panthers released Greg Olson. All right, so there you have it for on this day. Now we'll move on to the news and notes. So the Oakland Athletics, 7 years, $70 million extension to shortstop Jacob Wilson. Good for him. If a building block for them in the future, him and Nick Kurtz are going to be there a long time. Clint Kubiak is a lock for a head coaching job, as Adam Schefter says that Kubiak will definitely be hired by the Raiders or the Cardinals. Now the question is, who's a better fit? Those are very hard jobs because both those divisions are loaded. You have the Chiefs who are getting Patrick Mahomes back. You have the Broncos who are in the AFC title game. If their quarterback didn't get hurt, probably in the Super Bowl. And the Chargers with Jim Harbaugh, a new offensive coordinator, and Mike McDaniel and Justin Herbert. And on the flip side, you have the Seahawks who are in the Super Bowl, the 49ers who had the year for, not the year from hell per se, but like injury after injury after injury and are always relevant, and the Rams who were a couple plays away potentially from the Super Bowl. So you could tell me either or what's the harder job. And then how about this? The Vikings fire GM Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah after talks of underlying tension. Adam Schefter said that the Vikings had an ugly season. I generally think this guy was fired because J.J. McCarthy did not pan out this year. And I think that's a bad sign for J.J. McCarthy. And the fact that they're seeing Drake May and Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels and Jackson Dart and Tyler Shuck and all these young guys from the last 2 years. And J.J. McCarthy's probably the worst one. I mean, Cam Ward wasn't very good this past year either. But he's higher upside than J.J. McCarthy. That's for sure. So they see all these young quarterbacks that are all better than J.J. McCarthy, and this guy got fired. I genuinely believe that he was fired because of J.J. McCarthy. So the Giants are eyeing Charlie Weiss. He's not the current favorite, but is a name that keeps coming up in league circles. And then Cliff Kingsbury is a name that's getting tossed around. I like the idea of Cliff Kingsbury being the Giants OC. He knows, he's very smart. I think he's a better offensive coordinator than he is a head coach. And you saw that with the Commanders, not last year, but the year before when they went to the NFC title game. And then the Giants to interview quarterbacks coach of the Chargers, Shane Day. He's a candidate. And the Pro Bowl is an absolute joke. You heard my rant about Shader Sanders making the Pro Bowl. Joe fucking Flacco. You're a backup quarterback and you were so bad on the Browns. I know you were not bad on the Bengals, but why? Why? Joe fucking Flacco. Like put Jackson Dart in. Put Tyler Shuck in. Like, those are two quarterbacks that I think deserve some little shine there. I mean, I know Drake May and Sam Darnold can't be in it. Bo Nix got hurt. Josh Allen, I think, passed on it. Lamar, they probably don't want him getting hurt. What heck? Do you know who deserves it more than either of those guys? Aaron Rodgers, who made the playoffs at least. Give Aaron Rodgers his flowers. Like, I would be okay with Aaron Rodgers. That's ratings. I think the funniest one would have been Phillip Rivers. Yeah, put him in the Pro Bowl instead of these guys. At least Phillip Rivers was good with the Colts those couple weeks, and he was really fun to watch. We talked about Nikola Jokic coming back. There's a lot of buzz about Connor Griffin, who's a Pirates prospect. Everyone's comparing him to Trout and A-Rod. Like, give me a break. Let the guy play some baseball first. And then the Browns offensive coordinator job favorite is Ravens run game coordinator Travis Switzer. The Bills are hiring Pete Carmichael Jr. to join Joe Brady's staff as offensive coordinator. The NFL is considering a kickoff change as increased concussion rate on plays in 2025 among factors for potential revision. The Falcons hire Bears assistant general manager Ian Cunningham to serve as Atlanta's general manager under Matt Ryan. Davis Webb to withdraw from Raiders head coaching position. Considered prime candidate for Broncos offensive coordinator. So he wants to get promoted to Joe Lombardi's old position, which makes sense. So San Fran DC's open on with Salah taking the Tennessee job, Raheem Morris, and two others linked to that. Florida has to earn logo as new coach John Summerall implements new rule coming off a 4-8 year. Wow. Toozy, the rapper, calls out Fran Brown, calls him a bozo of lying in a recent interview. Yikes. We talked about Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah getting fired. The Lakers are on a Giannis radar, as the Lakers are a team to keep an eye on amid Knicks and Heat buzz. Who are they going to freaking trade? I know they have picks, but they're not giving up Luka. I know Bill Simmons made a joke about giving up Luka for Giannis, but the Bucks, I think the Giannis trade is Golden State, because you get Jimmy Butler back, who's out for the year, and you tank. Golden State should be the team. I know they may not have a lot to give up, or maybe they do. Kuminga's going to be in that trade too, you would think. But I think the team, if you're Milwaukee, has to be Golden State, because you want to tank. And you have the Jimmy Butler pick, or not Jimmy Butler pick, but the Jimmy Butler contract, and he's out for the season. So that would make a lot of sense. And I don't think the Knicks are going to do it because, like I said, I think the media, and this Lakers thing I think is a media, like Knicks for clicks, I think this is Lakers for clicks. Same thing. I don't think the Knicks or the Lakers are trading for Giannis, and I think both teams should stay pat. I know it's a hot take with the Lakers. The Knicks should improve around the margins, and so should the Lakers. I don't think either of them should be swinging the fence for Giannis, because the Lakers are getting Austin Reeves back. You just need some 3-and-D guys, and if you're the Knicks, they were off to a great start this year, but they faltered a little bit, and then the Giannis trade stuff started coming back the second that they were losing games, and that's not fair. And now they're on a 4-game winning streak, so we'll see. And then the expectation around the league is that it'll drag out until at least Thursday. But yeah, if you ask me who's going to get him, I think it's going to be Golden State or Miami or Atlanta. So we'll see. I know there's memes of him in a Dodgers uniform, which is really funny. So it looks like that Darren Peterson is going to be back against AJ Diamantessa and the Cougars on Saturday, so that's good. Ooh, bad news for the Dodgers, speaking of them. Blake Snell can miss opening day, and they have slow played off-season throwing program after postseason run. Is that why the Dodgers were linked to pitching? Are they worried about Blake Snell? The Dodgers, to me, are like the Yankees. Don't worry about your starting pitching. That's probably the best thing about your team, low-key. I mean, the Yankees now, it's their offense with Bellinger back, assuming that the other guys stay healthy. But yeah. And then the Dubs are pushing for a Giannis trade as they're ready to give up a whole lot to pair Curry with Giannis. So that's why I do think it's going to be Golden State. Because they can throw in Kuminga, and then Kuminga can be the good stat, bad team guy, like how Michael Porter Jr. is on Brooklyn this year. And you get Jimmy Butler back, who's hurt, and then you trade him in the offseason, maybe. And if you want to go full rebuild, then you trade Jimmy Butler in the offseason, or you trade him in, like, December or something like that of next year, so, or at the end of this calendar year, but next season. And VJ Edgecombe is not on the trade block as one person in the league completely shot down, including Edgecombe and any deals, including for Giannis. I think that's a Philly person coming out and saying, hey, he's untouchable. Absolutely not. And I agree with that because he's been fantastic and he's their future. Him and Maxey are their future. The Lakers are in DeAndre Hunter as they discussed a general framework for deal involving Rui Hachimura and Dalton Connect. That's interesting. The NBA to discuss cap scores. The league is looking for solutions to raise surface after Luka suffered mid-game injury. I think this has to do with obviously a little bit of favoritism towards the Lakers, as I said the other day. Stranger Things actors Gaten Matarazzo and Joey Keery were caught at the Islander Ranger game. And the crowd definitely went nuts because how about this? 14 teams are interested in Artemi Panarin as nearly half the league is looking to get him at the deadline. The Rangers better get the best offer. I do think, like I said, like this is similar, not similar to Giannis, but they got to get somebody to overpay. Don't get the Luka Doncic trade back. And I know you're probably not going to get Mikal Bridges back either. Mikal Bridges trade offer back. But you better not get the equivalent of the Luka Doncic or Micah Parsons trades if you're the Rangers. I mean, Minnesota has some young guys that are intriguing. The Kings. If I'm the Rangers, you want to deal with the team that's desperate. The Buffalo Sabres, a team that's like kind of in the middle. And then could be like a first round exit or a wild card exit. You want to deal with one of those teams. But if one of those big time Stanley Cup contenders overpay, I get it in that regard. And they give you like 2 first rounders and a second or a young guy and 2 firsts or whatever. And then maybe it's a pick that could become a first round pick if they make the conference finals kind of thing. Like what happened with the Rangers the one year. Like it happened with the Rangers twice, I think. One year they were bad, and somebody that they traded with made it far in the playoffs, and the second round they turned into a first round. I think it was the Dallas Stars. And then the other time it happened to them in the other way, which they made it to the conference finals, and they had to convey a second into a first rounder because they made it to the conference finals. So it could be that kind of situation as well. But I think that Buffalo would be an interesting fit. I don't think they would trade him to Carolina in division. I always thought the Islanders were an intriguing fit, but I don't think they want to trade with them. And they also, like, Buffalo fit that description of the team that's kind of desperate and might lose in the first round. You get a good first rounder back kind of deal. Um, or I don't. I mean, what would Colorado give up? And if talking about the Western Conference, I think Minnesota would be a good fit. They're going all in this year, obviously, with Quinn Hughes, and if they get Panarin to that, then to me they have to be front runners in the West um with Dallas and with Colorado. If Minnesota were to pull that off, Vegas is never ruled out of anything. I think San Jose makes sense for Panarin. The Red Wings in the East. I mean, could Florida be a sneaky one? I doubt it. That'd be weird. But yeah, there's a lot of teams I could see getting Panarin. The Kings. I don't think the Ducks are in play. Maybe the Ducks are in play. But San Jose, the Kings, Vegas, I could see. Colorado, Minnesota, Red Wings, Sabres. I think Boston could be sneaky. Montreal makes a lot of sense. A lot of young guys and picks they can give up. Yeah, so Montreal's a good one. I like that call. I mean, I don't see the Islanders actually doing it. I don't think the Rangers would trade in division, so that's why I would kind of cross off Carolina or the Islanders. But I could see them trading in conference to a team like Buffalo or Boston or the Canadiens. I don't think the Maple Leafs are really an option either, but you never know. And then Darnold unfazed by injury, as the Seahawks GM says the team was more panicked about the oblique than Sam was. And then LeBron had a gift to his mom as she receives a special jersey from LeBron after his homecoming game against the Cavs, which is really cool. All right, so there you have it for the news and notes. Best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. I knew this was going to be a long show today because we had to do all the music stuff for the Grammys and Masked Singer. So there's a lot of NBA ones I like, and there's a lot of college ones I like. So college, there's a few that jumped out to me. A couple of favorites, ironically enough. I usually like to take dogs because I have the insurance with in case the team loses but covers situation. Milwaukee against Wright State, Grand Canyon against Boise. Among the ones that stand out. And then on the flip side, I do like the NBA ones more. But the one I like the most, I know I went down to 3.5. Oh, and the Denver one went up to 2. I know I went down to 3.5. I still think this team's going to win outright on the second of a back-to-back. Again, their opponent is the first game on a West Coast. I'm taking the Suns plus 3.5 at home against the Cavs. Bigger number. No Mobley, Garland. I know no Booker too, but the Cavs being minus 3.5 is Donovan Mitchell's best guy in the court game. But the Cavs have been losing games like this all year, and the Suns deserve to be a favorite here. I know. Listen, the Suns are not a one-man team. They've been doing it all year, and they've won games without Booker. So I am going to do it. I'm going to take the Sons of Phoenix. Plus 3.5 at home against the Cavs as my best bet of the day. So there you have it for the show, and I'll be back on Monday recapping everything on Monday night as well. Have a great weekend, everyone.